We're bringing the espresso shots back because Lord knows I need it. This is the Messy Action Podcast. Cheers. I love that.
What's up, fam? Welcome to the Messy Action Podcast, where I plan to teach you to use messy action to finally level up in all aspects of your life. We'll be talking all things health and fitness, business, relationships, and more. I'm your host, Courtney Lombardo. Now let's get into the show.
What's up, fam? Today is gonna actually be different. I just want to always ensure that I'm showing up here just like so authentically, and I don't think that I haven't shown up authentically for you guys. I think absolutely I come on here and I do try to portray a very positive energy, right? Because that is the headspace and mindset I want you guys to get to as well. And genuinely for the past 2 years, I have been in very I like to call a high frequency wave. I've been in my higher self. Things have really gone my way for the most part, right? Of course, we have our ups and downs, but for the most part, I was up and up and up and up, right? Until recently, fully transparent. I'm not here to talk about the details of what I'm going through. I'm not here to discuss any of the details of what anyone else is going through. I'm just here to simply relate to you in this human experience that we are all going through, that moments like this are inevitable. This will happen, and genuinely, I am grateful for that. When this hit me the last couple weeks, this last month, it's hard. It's hard in the moment. You question a lot, and you just wonder, what could I have done better to not have this happen? But at the end of the day, the universe and God is working for you and never against you. And I think moments like this, I wouldn't be where I am today without moments like this, right? You learn so much from moments like this, and whilst they suck, you have to learn from failure. You have to learn from defeat. You have to learn from rejection. And I'm coming to you from that place today, y'all. Whilst the last week has been better, I have been working on my mindset and working on my non-negotiables. That's what I really want to talk about, how I'm here and talking like this to you today versus, the unmotivated feelings we can all feel, the minor glimpses of depression and overall just overwhelmed with your life. How can I still show up for y'all today? How have I been showing up for my business, for my people in my life, despite everything, right? So I know we all have our own struggles, whether it's a daily battle for you or just happens occasionally as life will have it. Either way, I want you to know today that your pain is real and it is absolutely validated no matter what you are going through. If you're going through it right now, if you have gone through it, this is a super good episode to always just come back to. Today, I want to talk to you about how we rise from our trials in life and how to learn to pivot quicker and quicker every time. Now, understand you still need to give yourself so much grace in those moments, and it's not, oh, I stood up quicker than you, or I did this better than you. No, this is not a comparison thing. This is how do you get back to feeling yourself the quickest? Because obviously, feeling any other way but besides your best and most confident version of you is not fun, okay? So today, let's get into it. I want to start our chat by just kind of actually defining the words rise and the words pivot, because I think those are two very big words in my vocabulary. I use them often, and I want to look at just the raw definition of both, okay? So rise, the definition is to move from a lower point to a higher one, come or go up. Pivot is defined as, and then it says especially in a business context, completely change the way one does something. Okay, so these two go hand in hand more so than we would ever think, right? Sometimes to rise, we can't use the same methods we were used to from moving from a lower point to a higher point. Maybe that worked at one point. Maybe it did. But maybe you try it again and it's not working. And maybe you try it the same way again and it still's not working. That's when we know we need a pivot. Keeping our goal, the high point, the same is important. But learning how to be flexible about how we get there is life changing. So if you can learn to pivot, if you can learn to be flexible in these moments that feel so difficult, no matter what you're going through, right? If this is a breakup and you're looking for a new relationship, is this a new business you try to start and it failed and you're trying to still solve a problem for someone, is this something you tried out for, something you really wanted? Did you audition for this and it just wasn't the part? What do you do then? How do you still follow your dreams in that moment, right? We don't want to let go of our dreams just because the one way we tried it is not working. There's always another way. So personally, growing up, the words pivot and rise were important to me, and this is why I still use them in my vocabulary to this day. Shout out to my parents for just instilling the overall resilience I have to this day. Literally, I thank them so much for it, because both my mother and father taught me resilience in their own way, right? So my mom was huge on the word pivot. Like, if anything went wrong, she'd be like, pivot, baby girl. How are we going to do this? How are we going to do it in a different way? Think harder, think different, think more creatively. And she was kind of more the aggressive one, where she was like, get back up, pivot, let's do this. And my dad, on the other hand, was a little bit more methodical in the way that he wanted to promote me to want to do better or do more. So understanding you're not alone whenever you're going through these things is the most important thing. It's not about what happens to you, it's just about how you react. That is going to be your differentiator your entire life. No matter what we're talking, career, relationships, families, hobbies, whatever it is that you feel like is, handing you the worst deck of cards ever. How do you react? How do you react? What do you do with that? How do you stand back up? This is going to be your biggest differentiator. So, like I mentioned in the beginning of the episode, girl's been going through it herself. Like, genuinely, I have had a hard month. A lot of unexpected things have happened. I've questioned a lot. I felt the most unmotivated I have in a really long time, which is saying something for me. I'm a very go, let's do something, let's be productive. Like, I've wanted to do nothing but sit on the couch. But today I come back to you, probably a week later of really working on just trying to find me again. And I genuinely feel a lot better. Like, I'm able to show up like this for you. I got ready for the day. And of course, there's still some questions lingering in the back of my mind. But if I were to dive into those and let myself spiral, this would be a different story. I wouldn't be able to come here and talk to you today about rising and being resilient. And maybe this hits even one other person that this message is good for, and that I was able to help one other person, right? So if I were to not show up, then that other person wouldn't have gotten and received the benefits from this chat with y'all today. So you see how it's spiraling is happening, right? You showing up as you is not only good for you, but it's great for the other people around you. No matter if you're in a profession where you help others, or that's just what you do in your day-to-day life. Maybe that's not how you define yourself, but, the people around you, require your level of communication and your motivation. They want that from you. They want that relationship, and for you to not be your best self is not the best, right? Firstly, it's so important to just get back in this headspace, right? Like, just getting yourself back to wanting to do the little things, to having the motivation, and not being so consumed by all these thoughts that could be going on. So, if you're fighting for your headspace back, the number one thing that you could be doing to get back to where you want to be is working on your non-negotiables, right? And a lot of y'all that I talk to are my health and fitness girlies, so you know what a non-negotiable is, okay? If you're not that, though, and you've never heard non-negotiables or don't have those daily goals set for yourself, what those can look like is just like water intake goal, a step goal, a daily movement goal, eating nutrient-dense foods, like whatever your non-negotiables are. I'd love to see you create a list of 3 to 5 every single day that you've got to get done. So whether you're feeling your best or feeling your worst, those are things that you're going to check and be like, it doesn't matter if I just went through the motions of that non-negotiable for that day, I still showed up for myself. After you find your foundation, which is what I like to call your non-negotiables, that is your foundation. You have to understand in these moments, those are going to look different, right? Your non-negotiables can be a little bit more convenient, So for example, my nutrient-dense foods, typically, I like to make a lot of homemade foods. Like, I don't go out to eat a ton. I don't get the frozen foods. Like, I'm going to make it from scratch. I have the time and the luxury of that. Now, when I'm in this headspace, going to the grocery store, meal prepping, cooking the food, doing all that, it's just a lot. It's too many steps for where I'm at that moment. So I definitely am not going to show up for that. So I chose a more convenient option. I went to Chipotle, I went to Chick-fil-A, I got the frozen meals, but I chose foods that I knew were macro-friendly. They had all of what I needed to make me feel my best. Is it ideal? No, I don't care. I still hit my non-negotiables. Same with water. The simplest of things, guys. I didn't want to fill up a water bottle, so I bought a lot more water bottles last week. Who cares? If that's what's going to help me get back to this point I'm at right here with y'all today, do it. You know what I mean? When you're in this headspace, obviously, I'm going to always bring up journaling, period. I live, laugh, love journaling. It's got to be a part of your life. If you have yet to use it, and I've given you this tool, so many people have given you this tool, the researchers have given you this tool, and you are still neglecting to journal about your thoughts and really dig down deep with yourself, we can't help you. You don't want to help yourself. And I know that's so harsh, but I'm coming from you from a point where it's like, I've done the dirty work, right? Like, I've dug down deeper for myself, within myself. I can get deep with myself. And I was thinking about that the other day when I'm in the sauna. I was asking myself such deep questions. And I'm like, my relationship with myself didn't used to be like this. It was very shallow. If I even had a conversation with myself, sometimes I felt uncomfortable. So then I put myself in other people's shoes. And I'm like, people are having this level of depth within themselves. No wonder they struggle so much within society, within relationships, within business, because they don't even fully understand the extent of their own mind and body. That this is getting deep, but just journal, guys. Should I do a whole episode on journaling? I feel like I should now. But really, getting your thoughts out on a piece of paper, literally taking them out of your head and putting them on a piece of paper is so good. Number 3, connection. Reach out to your people. I know at this point in time, it's easy to isolate yourself and say, don't text, don't call. Like, leave me alone. I need to process this on my own. But force yourself into this situation, Ask the people you trust the most for a coffee date and just explain to them what's going on. Having the vulnerability is a part of the human experience. It is gorgeous to be vulnerable. I think it is so important that you are not always perceived as this high egotistical person. And I know a lot of us don't want to come across egotistical, but we also don't want to show failure or defeat. And it really is gorgeous, right? Showing that vulnerability just allows you to deepen the connection with the people around you and yourself. Number 4, I know I just said connection, and so this sounds different, but it is different, right? So you also need time disconnected. So connect with those who you trust, who are closest around you, really get deep and vulnerable with them, but also disconnect from those more shallow relationships, aka social media. You don't need the extra comparison. You don't need to be scrolling and seeing who's doing what, when. It's just, you don't need it right now. So find your moments where you can disconnect. Those are all how I'm here with you guys today. They seem maybe basic to you. They seem maybe woo-woo. I'm not exactly sure how it's perceived, but at the end of the day, they work, right? This is true self-care. Doing the hard shit is self-care. Showing up when you don't want to is self-care. Doing the things that you know are going to nourish your body and allow you to show up the next day a little bit better and better and better is self-care. You know what I mean? So anyways, I know this is all so much easier said than done when you're not in the headspace, but I'm in the headspace. I really am. Like, I'm coming to you better, but I'm still here. So this is proof. I'm being living proof, and I hope like my vulnerability with you helps just a little bit. And of course, this isn't the details, but this is the internet, so not everyone needs to know everything. But just know, like, this will help you become stronger and stronger with the turbulence of life. And the goal, again, is not who can get up the quickest and who's the best at being resilient. Like, who freaking cares? The most important thing is that you feel more yourself again. Period. I hope one day I see you personally pride yourself on being resilient, because you deserve to be proud. Being resilient is tough. It does not come naturally. It is a learned skill, in my opinion, and you have to choose to work on it. You have to choose to practice it, and it sucks. It's not fun at all, but you need to learn how to stand back up again and again and again and again. And one more time. Oh, another time after that one time. And again. No. Okay, sorry. One more time. Nope, one more time. Yep, keep going. No, keep going. Again. And again. Alright guys, so this is how you rise, and this was obviously an episode that hits home for me. I named my business after this. I think that we all face some really hard times, and whilst I preach health and fitness and all the different things, I wouldn't be half of who I am or where I'm at in the health and fitness industry without my resilience and my mindset. Alright fam, you know the drill. Like, follow, subscribe, do all the things because I love you and I'd love to continue showing up like this for you and continue creating more episodes for years to come. So I need you to follow me. I'm going to leave you today like I leave you every single episode, and that is to go take some messy action in your life, whether it is around resilience or just around whatever you have been putting off. Girl, go do it. Go take the messy action and rise, baby girl.